Looking at the pantheon of Space Marines, there's not a lot of tropes that are left to be turned into flavors and colors of Space Marines. Although during the newest Ultima founding, some of the last remaining holes were filled, and one of those was the Dark Krakens. These guys are the nautical themed Space Marines. I'm kinda surprised that an underwater themed Space Marine chapter doesn't already exist. I feel like it must, somewhere in the hundreds of existing Space Marine colors, but the Dark Krakens have done it the most recently. I wanna put together a Dark Kraken and see what these suckers look like. An ocean-themed Space Marine. The Dark Krakens don't literally live underwater, they're just from an ocean death world, and they like to hunt sea monsters. I clipped off the parts for an intercessor and cleaned and prepped my guy. As a member of the Ultima founding, most of these Space Marines were from the Horus Heresy stock that Call's been tinkering with over the last 10,000 years, so I want to leave the armor mostly like new. I drilled out the barrel of the bolter using this pointed reamer Dremel bit. I don't ever use this in my Dremel, but I find it super handy for fixing the bolter barrels when I drill a little bit off center. I scraped off the Imperialis from the side of the bolter and I attached the ammo drum. I feel like a Space Marine doesn't need a scope for shooting underwater, so I think the extra ammo is preferred. After attaching these arms in a heroic upright pose, I mixed up some green stuff and I reached for the classic part number 69 shoulder pads. And I attached these using the green stuff to stand off the shoulders just a little to get the exact pose I want. Now for the head, and I'm thinking classic intercessor helmet, but with a little modification. I mixed up some milliput and I squished this over the Vox grills of the helmet, using my silicone sculpting tool to really shove it into the gaps. I cleaned up the excess putty with my hobby knife and I did the other side the same way, so I have a perfectly smooth faceplate. I'll have to do this on a few of my Black Templars. It'll make painting the Templar cross over the face much easier. With the custom helmet done, I glued it down into position and added a backpack. Now he's almost done, but I want to try to add a little more nautical spice. Maybe some rope. I took some soft copper wire, twisted it in half, and then twisted the end again into a lump that I can put into the chuck of my drill. Then I held the other side firmly while pulling the trigger so it twisted quickly into a tight braid. I can never pull this off by hand. I can't spin the wire evenly enough to get a nice twisted look. With the drill it becomes easy, and I took a length of this wire and bent it around a paintbrush handle so I could have a nice round chunk. I tried to loop this around my Space Marine's leg, but I was having trouble with it springing loose. In the end, I found clipping it so I had one loop much easier to work with. I could hold it tight to his leg and then drip on some superglue to hold it in place permanently. My little Dark Kraken is ready for action. The Dark Krakens are a successor chapter to the Salamanders, although they're not that salamandery. Their big thing is their chapter planet is a water planet, and they love nothing better than to hunt down giant beasties. Krakens, megalodons, monstrous fish, that's their bread and butter. This chapter lore, focusing on achieving epic deeds, is a little bit more Space Wolvesy. These guys probably are salamanders, although they're a part of the Ultima founding. Not only are they part of the newest founding of Space Marines, but the Ultima founding is a little mysterious. Gilliman ordered the Ultima founding at the end of the Horus Heresy, and the Marines that are a part of it were kept in stasis for the last 10,000 years while Call gave them upgrades. Call, possibly the smartest human in the galaxy, Archmagos Dominus Call, probably the smartest, but not the most trustworthy. He was told not to use Chaos Gene Seed in the creation of the Ultima founding, and he almost certainly did. Now, does that mean anything for the Dark Kraken? Probably not. They probably are a successor chapter to the Salamanders. Successor chapters aren't just a recoloring of their parent chapter. There's plenty of Sons of Dorns who aren't very Dorny. Like half of all Space Marines are a successor to the Ultramarines, but a lot of them are more interesting than just a love of the color blue. The mysteriousness of the Ultima founding gives a lot of creative wiggle room of what's going on with these newer Space Marines. And this little Dark Kraken needs a base. Probably a water base. I sunk in a magnet to a Cobalt Keep 32mm base, and then stuck down some 1/4-inch cork. This will be the base for a sandy beach. I used my Dremel tool to grind it down on an angle, and then I stuck down my Marine with plenty of superglue. With his feet on there, I covered up all the ground with some sandy texture paste, and then hit him and the base with a black prime. The Dark Krakens wear dark armor if you can believe it, and the best way to achieve this would be with a zenithal. I sprayed white from above in preparation for some speed paint, and I threw on a coat of satin varnish to protect this ink layer. Now technically, the Dark Krakens wear predominantly black armor, but black is boring. I decided instead to go with a dark blue, putting this all over the armor, except for the arms, shoulder pads, and one of his knees. Once that was dry, I switched to a purple color, applying this over the remaining white primer parts. This color ended up cracking on me. It might have been because I was impatiently blasting the mini with a hairdryer, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not done with this purple. I took some regular purple paint and I glazed this over the top base and parts of the armor to push up the saturation, and I also painted this color over the armor of his bolter. I went over his arms again, leaving less paint behind and making them brighter still. Then I mixed a little white paint into this color to brighten it up, and I edge highlighted the arms, painting on lines around the edges of his arm armor and the edge highlights of his heavy bolter. I did a final edge highlight with a lot more white paint mixed in for the brightest reflections of this armor. Since he's mostly dark, I want the little bits of color he has to really stand out. I painted the shoulder trim with more of my dark navy color, and for the gun parts of his gun, I painted these with Noble Skin Speed Paint, my favorite gun color. I hit the Imperialis on his chest with some black wash. I managed to leave it white from the zenithal, so it looks really good after a quick wash. Then, to make the armor a little more interesting, I took a light desaturated blue and I edge highlighted all the easy to reach spots. When Space Marine armor is really dark, it's hard to see the shapes that make it up, so a few edge highlights can really help them to stand out. Now to finish off that bolter, I took some silver paint and I quickly dry brushed over all the gray parts of the gun. This 1-2 punch in Noble Skin and silver paint is my favorite way to make weapons look really good, really fast. Now my guy is getting close, I want to play around with those eyes. I put some white ink into my airbrush and I sprayed this over the lenses. The white ink sprays really well through the airbrush, so I can actually spray with some accuracy. And once it was on there, I picked out the lenses with some white paint. Now for some color. My Under the Sea Marines need a little bit more blue, so I sprayed some plasmatic bolt over the white to tint the glow a little bit. I reapplied the white over the lenses to make them look super bright, and now my Dark Kraken is ready for his symbols. The Dark Kraken's love of hunting terrible monsters has really got me thinking of what detachment I would want to run in putting together a hypothetical Dark Kraken's army. And the detachment that jumps out to me is a Space Wolves Codex detachment, and that is Saga of the Beast Slayer. It's a really weird one, but the fun ones tend to be the weird ones. Saga of the Beast Slayer is all about your army vowing to kill enemy characters, monsters, or vehicles, the biggest bads in your opponent's army. And the way this works is at the start of the game, you take a look at your opponent's army, and you tally up all of the vehicles, monsters, and character units in the army. You divide it in half, and that is your kill target. You have to kill that many guys to get the full benefit of your detachment. And that benefit is lethal hits. Now your army always gets lethal hits against those types of enemies, but if you make your goal and you manage to kill half the total number of your opponent's enemy monsters, vehicles, and infantry, then you get army-wide lethal hits. All your guys are hitting so hard they don't need to take a wound check. They're punching straight through. I feel like this detachment does a really good job of encapsulating the themes of the Dark Krakens. And it is a Space Wolves detachment, and if you were to build your army around this detachment, you'd probably end up including some fishy looking wolfen, like literally fishy because ocean themed, and then maybe you get some crab riding Space Marines that are Thunderwolf Cavalry. No matter how silly your army gets, you'll know in your heart of hearts that you're a Salamanders player through and through. The Dark Krakens are all about killing the things that go bump in the sea, and I really want to see some Space Marines 2,000 leagues under the sea stabbing a fish. These guys are funky. It's time to get the chapter symbols on this guy, and that's going to be really easy. The Dark Kraken symbol is an octopus, and I don't want to even attempt to freehand a tiny little octopus. Luckily, I don't have to. I can use one of the Kraken decal sheets from Impatient Tabletop. These decals are great, and also, we have them available at EonsOfBattle.com. Over there, we have all kinds of hobby goodies, Grey Tide Studio bits to spice up your Space Marines, Army Painter paints, brushes, basing cork, and we have glue. Ultra thin and ultra thick super glue. And we have terrain. It's the best way to support us doing what we do by getting a membership. Each month, members get a credit good for any one terrain pack we've ever made, or the brand new one. New in February, we have created the Invaded City Bits Pack, a series of thematic pieces to tell the story of an alien civilization awakening underneath an oblivious Gothic city. This pack features tile bits for filling in the flat sections of bases, and many obelisks and pyramids of varying sizes to show the power of this alien architecture. There's also plenty of Gothic elements to show the poor human settlement that is quickly being overtaken by implacable metal. And of course, no alien takeover would be complete without some critters to sprinkle some otherworldly flavor over your bases. This terrain is available physically and as STL from EonsBattle.com. I cut out some symbols, a few little octopuses, and a crab claw pinching a skull. I cut these out as close as I could to the shape, and I let those soak while I prepared a paper towel. I like to mist the paper towel with water to get it damp and then fold it up into a tight little square. This is the best thing I have found for crushing down a decal. I transferred the decal onto the shoulder, pushed and prodded it into position, and then I gave it its first squish. This got it stuck where I wanted it, but to fight the roundness of the shoulder and the flatness of the decal, I gave it a brush of microsole which softens the plastic film, and after about a minute I pressed down on the decal again, and this time it perfectly conformed to the shoulder pad. I put the crab claw on his other shoulder, and I put a little octopus on his ankle. Once those were on there, I hit the model with a satin varnish to make the shiny decal film disappear. Now my Marine is ready for a base. I want to set him on the beach, so I took some Paratrooper Tan and Pharaoh Guard. I put down the brown, nice and wet all over the top half of the base, and then I came in with the green and putting this on the lower section. Working quickly so that both of the paints were wet, and I took a clean brush and I wet blended the two colors together so I have a transition from tan to blue. Once that was dry, I took a light sandy color and I dry brushed this over the top of the sand to highlight the grains in the texture paste. I really like how this looks, but it needs some water. I took painter's tape and made a little tape wall so I can do a little resin pour. I took some UV cure resin and poured out a few drops. I used a toothpick to spread the putty all around, and then I took my airbrush and I blew some air over the putty to make some waves. While I was spraying the air, I blasted it with the UV lamp to lock those shapes into the resin permanently. I feel like I could use a little bit more resin. Towards the back of the base, I dripped in some more UV resin and gave it a second bath in the UV light, and then the water was finished. I think it looks really convincing. I hit the rim of the base with some gloss black paint, and my little fish fighter is ready. I've looked up pictures online of how other people have put together Dark Krakens, and they always set them on like spooky, rocky, ethereal seas, which makes a lot more sense because it's a death world in lore. I have set this guy in the most picturesque postcard beach. He's in the Bahamas right now. It definitely works to help sell the nautical aspect of these guys, and I think it was very effective. But man, is this way too picturesque for a space marine to be walking through it. I now have a monster hunting Dark Kraken absolutely frolicking on the beach, and please let me know in the comments below what Space Marine Legion should I take a look at next.